Yale pushes more anti-racism initiatives. Now, you and I both know, because we're kind of smart, you're smarter than I, but we know that anti-racism really is racism against white people, and Yale says we have to do more?
Yes, actually, Yale is instituting a few anti-racist policies. Of course, like you said, anti-racist is just another word for anti-white rhetoric. But their policies is they want to create a podcast that is emphasizing on anti-racism. They want to add sections into their syllabus, which means that professors have to indicate in their syllabus why there isn't more non-white authors on their syllabus. They also have to explain how being around a lack of diversity has negatively impacted them. And the concern with that situation is that someone should be on a reading list because they're a good writer, because it's someone that students should learn from, not solely because the color of their skin.
So in other words, if a white author has something that's really of value, we're going to ignore that to put in a fill-in-the-blank other ethnicity author just to say we did it?
Yep, that's exactly what they're pushing for. And it's unfortunate because then it's going to make people who are not white feel like, oh, am I just on this list because they're trying to meet a quota? Or am I on this list because I'm educated and I have something special to say?
You know, you hit on that point a couple of times. Those so-called of color, I have a color too. I'm Italian. I don't know if that makes me, I often say original Latino because we spoke Latin in the Roman Empire. But I'm Italian, so I'm considered white. Does that mean that somehow I don't have a color? So when I say of color, I hate that. So let's say other than white people, don't they want to excel? Don't people like you, you're Hispanic, don't you want to excel? Don't you want to do better? You've got 2 or 3 degrees now. You're going to go and get your graduate studies now at Texas A&M. I mean, if you listen to everything society today says, you would sit at home and wait for like a government check.
Yeah, exactly. And honestly, it's just discouraging. I remember I fell prey to that in the beginning of my college years. And thankfully, my dad brought me out of that. But it's discouraging because you're telling students that, you know, they're only on a list to meet a quota or that they're automatically at a disadvantage. It honestly inhibits students from pursuing excellence because I want people to acknowledge me for my hard work, for my skills, for the things that I contribute to this world. I don't want to be recognized just for the color of my skin.
It's interesting. My dad he often said that I wouldn't do this or do that or succeed or whatever. So every day I got up to put his nose in it. Every day I got up to say, yeah, I'm going to. So if somebody said to you, as a Latina, you can't, it feels to me like you're the same kind of person I am, where you would say, "Oh yeah, watch me." I don't think you want people to say you're a Latina. Let me give you free X amount of dollars or Section 8 housing or free transportation. No, it sounds to me like you would say, "Oh, get out of my way. Watch what happens."
Yeah, absolutely. And what I find is interesting is that the side that claims to be empathetic, the side that claims to fight racism and be tolerant, that's the side that's belittling people who look like me all the time. They're the most racist individuals that I've met. And granted, not all of them, but if you're constantly telling people that you have this characteristic or you're set up for this solely because of the color of your skin, that is racist because you're assuming an outcome, you're assuming a characteristic solely based on the color of someone's skin.
You are a smart person. It's Noelle Fitchett from Leadership Institute's Campus Reform. Go to campusreform.org every day like I do.